Hello and welcome to Tabletop Titans. You probably know us for our Warhammer 40k content, but today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today, we're going to be playing some Magic. So Magic is a game that I've played for years and years, mostly online, and Brian and Adrian have a lot of experience with long ago. We're trying to rekindle that love of Magic for them. So today, we're going to be doing the most easy, basic way to get into Magic. If you yourself don't know anything about Magic, this is a great way to get started. We're going to play some Sealed. So Sealed, you just take 6 packs. Everybody gets 6 packs. You open them up. You build a 40-card deck. You put some lands in. You're done. You play with your friends. It's that easy. Today, we're trying to kind of recreate a pre-release experience, which is when a new set comes out. And we're replacing one of our packs with these very cool college theme boosters. So these will kind of guarantee that we'll be able to play the colors we want to play. And I think it's a really cool product that the Wizards put out there so that you can play the Sealed you want to play. So let's get started. Start cracking some packs. I love the smell of fresh Magic cards. All right, so I'll take my 5 packs here. And my Strixhaven theme booster. Look at that. Very cool. I'll be playing Quandrix, the math nerd. That's me, the math nerd. All right. Let's crack pack number 1. Let's see what we got. With Strixhaven, they've added something called the Mystical Archives, which are like spells from the history of Magic, and they've given them really cool card art, and they put them in Strixhaven packs. So there's this cool aspect of Strixhaven limited play, where you can get cards from like the history of Magic, 10, 15-year-old cards. Pretty cool. So I got a Cultivate, which is actually in my colors. I'm very happy about that. I love that Cultivate art. Let's crack open the second pack. Ooh, and look at that, Mystical Archives Negate. All my Mystical Archives cards are in my colors. Isn't that awesome? Because I want to play blue-green. I want to play Quandrix. All right, our rare for this pack, Baleful Mastery. These spells are cool. They have 2 casting costs. They have their normal casting cost at the top, and then they have a student cost, which is like, you know, if you're not a full-blown wizard, you can cast your spells a little cheaper, but they give your opponent a benefit. So like this spell, Baleful Mastery, it exiles target creature or planeswalker, but if you pay the student cost, your opponent draws a card. So it's kind of card disadvantage, but it's cheaper. You know, 2 mana remove anything. Pretty good, especially in limited. Another, check it out, another on-color Mystical Archives card, Strategic Planning. I always liked the funny stage art of this card, where it's like Gideon and Jace, like kind of looking at each other like this. Goofy art, but this art is very cool. It's very wall poster actually. I wouldn't mind getting a wall poster of that. All right, my last normal pack here. Let's see what we get. Frost Trickster, Common Bomb in Strixhaven. This dude is nuts. It's a Frost Lynx. It's a 2/2 for 3. that ETB taps an opponent's creature, and that creature doesn't untap in the next untap step. But it's flying. It's a flying Frostlings, a common. What a card. What a card. Oh yeah. So Study Break. It's actually a learn card. This is one of the new mechanics in Strixhaven. You can either discard a card and draw a card, or you can go and get a lesson card from your sideboard. So they do a thing, and then you kind of get a card back, which is really nice. All right, Quandrix Pledge Maze. So this is the common cycle of college like creatures. So these are creatures associated with their college, and they have Magecraft, which is a new mechanic in Strixhaven. It triggers whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell. So Quandrix Pledge Mage is actually a really good Pledge Mage, because you put a +1/+1 counter on him every time you cast an instant or sorcery. It's real good. Good ability. Needlethorn Drake reminds me of Baleful Strix. It's a 2-mana 1/1 flying Death Touch. Doesn't draw a card though. Still good. Excellent limited. Quandrix Apprentice. This is the uncommon sort of like Guild Mage equivalent in Strixhaven. These theme boosters are pretty good. Oh, Bookworm! What a great recurring threat. I think I got one of these earlier and I just didn't talk about it. Been playing some limited, and I actually just love Strixhaven. Or sorry, I love Quandrix so much. I just force Quandrix in every draft. And I love Bookworm because he's a recurring threat. He's kind of like a Blockworm. He's an 8-mana 7/7 with Trample, ETB, gain 3 life, and draw a card. Excellent. And then for 3 mana, you can put him from your graveyard back on top of your library, third from the top. So it's just a recurring threat, hard to deal with. Great card. Oh, Emergent Sequence. Everybody went nuts for this card when Strixhaven was spoiled, because they thought it was like the new Growth Spiral. And I don't know how it shook out. I think in the end it's like, okay. So it's a 2-mana sorcery, search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. That land becomes a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature. It's still land. Put a +1/+1 counter on it for each land you had enter the battlefield under your control this turn. So it ramps you, which is like put extra lands onto the battlefield from your library. So you get a land out of your library, goes straight onto the battlefield. Very strong effect for 2 mana. But then you put +1/+1 counters on it, it becomes a creature, which means your opponent could just kill it. So it's like kind of fragile ramp. Biomathematician, that's what we're here for. We're here to just do math, be a math nerd. Didn't get as many fractal cards as I was expecting. Oh, actually, here we go. Here's a Leyline Invocation, which is a 6-mana, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of lands you control. So it's at least a 6-mana 6/6. Fractal Summoning, another cool ramp payoff, and this is a lesson. So I could keep this in my sideboard, not have to put it in my deck, and then if I cast a learn spell, I could put this in my hand. It's green or blue, X, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, put X +1/+1 counters on it. So it's, you know, like a 2+X mana XX. Very, very cool. Well, this is a massive pool. I'm gonna take a minute to kind of figure out what I'm doing with my life here. I'll catch you in a second. Okay, so I'm back. I took some time to build out my deck, and just some basics on deck building for sealed. You want a 40 card deck, and that includes the lands. So you generally want like 23 spells and 17 lands. That's a good rule of thumb to go by. It's not always correct, but it's a good starting point. And you normally, of your 23 spells, you want like 12 or 13 creatures, because creatures win you the game, right? So what I have here is the 23 cards that I selected to put in my deck. And I think I exactly got 13 creatures. And then I did this thing where I spread them out according to their mana curve, so that I have like my 2-cost spells, my 3-cost spells, my 4-cost spells, right? And so on and so on. So what my deck's trying to do is I have these big 8-drop bookworms. Love those. Recurring threats. They'll gain me life, draw me cards, keep me in the game. Hopefully turn the game around in the end if I'm losing, and swing in for 7 with trample every turn. I have my 2 Leyline Invocations. They're just 6 mana big dumb idiots. And I love me some big dumb idiots in green. I have 2 Eureka Moments. These are like my card draw and ramp spells. So these are expensive, but they're instant speed, which is important. So it's 4 mana, draw 2. You may put a land onto the battlefield from your hand. These are instant speed, which is important because a significant part of my strategy, I have some counter spells early, so I can hold up mana and then hold up counters if I need it, and if I don't need the counter, play Eureka Moment, keep my ramp game plan going. In the 3-drop, I actually have, oops, these are 2 drops. In the 3-drop slot, I have some early creatures that can just kind of miracle grow, as some people like to call it, like the Quandrix Pledge Mage, who just gets bigger every time I cast a spell. So those are early threats that can block, keep me in the game. I have some ramp, cultivate, and field trip. Field trip is a learn spell, which means I can go to my sideboard here. I have a nice little sideboard of lessons. So I have a few lessons. They're nothing like crazy, nothing to write home about. I think Fractal Summoning is actually a pretty good one, but the other 3, they're okay, but they're free, right? If I cast a learn spell, I just put one of these into my hand. And then in the 2-drop slot, some great creatures. Quandrix Apprentice lets me get through the deck, put lands into my hand, make sure that I'm not drawing land the whole game because I'm sort of thinning my deck by pulling the lands out, putting them in my hand so that I can put them on the battlefield with Eureka Moment. I have Emergent Sequence, more ramp. I have Reject and Decisive Denial, which are counter spells that'll hopefully keep the pressure off early. And I have some Needlethorn Drakes that are flying threats. You know, they're only 1/1s, but they do fly. And they have Death Touch if I need to block somebody else's big dumb idiot. So that's kind of the deck I have built here. I do have one more surprise. At the end here, we're gonna open one of these cool Strixhaven, these are collector boosters. Wizards of the Coast makes all different kinds of products now. And these collector boosters are a little more expensive than normal packs, but they have some beautiful cards. So there aren't just normal pack cards now, there are also, as you've seen, these the beautiful Mystical Archives cards with their special art. But then also in these collector boosters, we get, ooh, look at these shiny foils. Look at that foiling. And you know what? The foils are flat now. They fixed their foiling process. They look pretty nice. So we got a Pillar Drop Rescuer. Very cool. We have a foil Expel. Look at that. A foil Teach by Example. A foil Spectre of the Fens. You know, this is actually not a bad card. The game's going long, these drain effects can really keep you in it. A foil Biblioplex Assistant. I love the concept of the Biblioplex. It's just a mega library for the biggest school of wizards in the universe. Oh, foil Emergent Sequence! Maybe I'll swap one of my normal Emergent Sequences for this foil. Look at that. A foil Reconstruct History. Wow, is this pack just all foils? Pretty cool. Teachings of the Archaics in foil. I have one of those in my sideboard. Maybe I'll swap that for a foil. Gnarled Professor. I wish I could put that in my deck, but that would be cheating. Promise of Loyalty. So now here we're getting out of the foils and into the full art cards. So these are borderless. The art of the card kind of extends farther. It's a cool card. Sedgemoor Witch. It's good standard right now. That's a powerful card. Unassuming. Doesn't look like it does anything crazy, but it's part of some interesting combos. Ooh, look at that. They have these new Japanese art Mystical Archives cards. And look at that. I'll have to go in and edit later. I don't know what card this is. It's all in Japanese. But it's beautiful. I love it. Then we have, oh, look at that. Mystical Archives Swords to Plowshares. Look at that dude. He's like holding up his staff to the sun. What a beautiful card. I love the art on these Mystical Archives cards. We have a Mystical Archives Foil Defiant Strike. Seen some of this in Standard lately. Oh, look at that foiling. It looks amazing. We have a foil Japanese, is this fact or fiction? It's 2 blue and 3 colorless. And I don't know what that is. Again, I'm gonna edit in what this is because that looks amazing. Wow, in foil. Foil Japanese Mystical Archives. It's like triple rainbow. Whoa, wait, whoa. Let's just go ahead and put that card in a sleeve, Bridger. That's like the second most expensive card in the whole set. That's a Time Warp. And you know, while we're at it, you wanna stop by Game Castle on the way home? Maybe just like buy another box of Strixhaven, maybe open another Japanese Time Warp. That'd be pretty dope, right? If that happened. Because like that would never happen, right? But what if that happened? That'd be pretty cool. And then we have a cool double-sided foil token here. We have a spirit on one side and a pest on the other. Very cool. Well, hope you enjoyed this sealed pack opening, deck building experience, and I hope you enjoy our games either later today or maybe tomorrow. See you around.